And now, as we have seen the keywords for Jupiter, let us see how it manifests in the 12 energies. So we'll start with the signs first. Number 1 in the signs is Aries here. It was concerned about starting, manifesting into existence, the drive to express. And so when we have Jupiter there, it will bring a focus and drive to expand or grow those concerns. So here we'll have expand leadership, grow stronger, expand self. Notice that self, strong, being strong, being first, the leader are the natural keywords of this energy. And so we just add the verbs expand, grow, increase. Any synonym will work. Number 2, Taurus concerned itself with resources. It was an earth element supporting the manifestation of Aries, the expression of Aries. And so here, having Jupiter in Taurus will mean that there will be a driving force to grow resources, to expand connection with nature and the abundance. Number 3, Gemini, was about learning, communication, and so here with Jupiter we'll see a drive to expand learning or expand communication, speaking, writing. Cancer, number 4, was about comfort, about care, about the senses and emotions, and bringing comfort to those senses. So Jupiter will expand that, to expand care and comfort, to expand or to grow sensitivity. Number 5 was Leo. This was connected to our inner child. It was about joy and playfulness and creative expression. Leo also liked to bask in the spotlight. So having Jupiter there will mean that there will be a driving force to expand the joy in our life, to expand the playfulness, to expand the connection with our inner child, to grow recognition as well. Remember, we'd like to have that spotlight on us. Number 6, another earth sign coming here to support the activities of the fiery sign before that. Virgo was focused on service, being efficient, being tidy, organized, being crafty. And so Jupiter here will focus our energies to expand the service, to grow in efficiency. Number 7 is Libra, and Libra was about relationships, recognizing there are other people, there are other views, and finding the balance between the views, finding a compromise, playing along. Libra was concerned very much with balance, fairness, justice. And so if we have Jupiter there, we'll have a drive, or opportunities will come up to expand justice, to grow relationships. Number 8, Scorpio, was about truth and finding meaning in life. And so here Jupiter will bring opportunities or also drive us towards expansion of our understanding, to expand knowledge. Number 9 is already an expansive energy anyway. It looks big, it grows big, it travels big, everything is big with Sagittarius. No fences, no boundaries. We want more and more. See the big world. Putting Jupiter there will be double the expansion, so it's a very explosive combination. Jupiter will drive us to expand even more and further great ideas. If we have great ideas and we already preach them, we will be concerned how to increase the reach of those ideas, to preach to even larger audiences. So there's a drive to explosive growth here. That combination is very explosive. Number 10, Capricorn, an earth sign element here, supports the vision and the goals and the expansion of Sagittarius by setting up systems and structures into place to support Sagittarian interests. And so having Jupiter here is somewhat of a balanced combination, because Jupiter will bring the drive to expand existing structures, to grow the utilization of resources. So that's what Jupiter does. Just bring those verbs, grow, expand, increase, and add them to the concerns already associated with each energy. Aquarius concerned itself with social innovation, with improvement. There was a lot of humanitarian aspect of it, also of tinkering and experimenting, again for the purpose of improvement. Aquarius is very much focused on improvement here. So Jupiter will mean a focus or drive to expand humanitarian endeavors, to expand social groups. Aquarius was very socially oriented. It was about groups and networks, and overall expanding the frontiers of science. Again, if Aquarius had a more scientific bent there and their tinkering went for a science project, Jupiter will make it on a bigger scale. So it'll bring that grand scale that not only you do experiments and improve your theory, but now how do you push the frontier? How do you make the biggest impact? How do you create that improvement that impacts the most or the entire humanity? So that's everything becomes on a planetary scale here. And number 12 is Pisces, the energy most connected to spirit, and the spiritual world keeps us open to the spiritual world. Here's where we remember there is a spiritual world. We're ready to go back to that world, so we're 1 foot out of the door. Pisces was spiritual, was healing. Naturally, it's connects to healing because the true healing is always of the spirit. And so it is befitting that the energy most connected with spirit will be the one most healing or attuned to healing. And having Jupiter there, of course, brings the focus to expansion of spirituality, expansion of healing, growing our connection with the spirit. If you say, well, what about the personal dial in terms of the houses? What would mean to have Jupiter not so much in the signs but in the houses? Remember, houses and signs, they all stand for the same number. Aries number 1 is about self-manifestation. House number 1 is about your self-manifestation. In one case could be a bigger planetary birth. The other case could be your bodily birth. But there's a direct correspondence through the numbers because they're all really standing for those numbers. So let's do a quick circle through the houses and see how this plays out. Number 1, on your personal dial is the first house, where the sign that was just rising above the eastern horizon when you were born, that's the house of self. And so having Jupiter there will increase opportunities to expand yourself, expression, to expand yourself, manifestation. So there's always that expansion of that self, right? Grow stronger. Number 2, Taurus, for the signs, for the houses, it's house number 2, also connected with resources. So here you will be focused in your personal life. There will be a focus and drive to expand your resources, to grow a connection with nature. Number 3 on your personal dial, the 3rd house, is where you do your learning. And so Jupiter there will be in expanding your learning, expanding the breadth of what you're learning, expanding your skills, expanding your communication. 4th is about root and spiritual root and the senses. So here Jupiter again will bring that motivation for you to increase or grow your sensitivity. Number 5 was about playfulness and joy and the connection with your inner child. So Jupiter here will drive you to connect with that inner child, to expand your growth with the inner child, to expand your joy and playfulness in life. It will probably give you opportunities to grow in recognition as well. Number 6 was about service, and so here you'll see in your personal natal chart, Jupiter, if Jupiter is there, will bring expansion of your service. You'll be oriented how to expand your service or how to improve your efficiency, how to grow in efficiency. That's how those are the concerns of Jupiter. For 7, this is the house of your partnerships, and 7 is an interesting house, as I mentioned before, because it's the diametrically opposite to the self. So on this natal chart, on this circle, the 7th house is the farthest away from the self, number 1. And this is where we see things that we have pushed the furthest from our consciousness. Psychologists like to talk about projection. They say that with whatever we refuse to integrate in our consciousness, we push it away, and so that those issues begin to manifest in terms of coming from other people. That is, so here you can actually see this energy here will hold the key to how you approach partnerships, but it will also show you what is coming to you back, reflected back to you through the faces, the words of the others. In a sense, it's our personal psychological projection. So when you see Jupiter there, it will expand and will drive you to grow your relationships. But you might also find people coming who are in partnerships with you to embody that Jupiter in the seventh house, whatever that sign is, that energy. So you might actually see that energy starting showing up through others. That's the house of the others. For the eighth house, we're back to the personal transformation and truth. And so Jupiter will bring that drive for you to expand your conquest for truth. And it will to put your energies to expand your transformation, to grow your transformation. It can manifest also on the very material levels, but this is where it gets tricky to guess which way it's going to show up. Why do you get some legacy from some cousin who has bequeathed you some property, or do you have a larger house because you get to partner with your husband and you buy that house anyway? So on the physical level you can get a lot of things, and that's why I don't want to go there. It's difficult for me to guess. At this point it's a guesswork, but on a deeper mental spiritual level, it's always that drive for us to find the truth, to transform ourselves. So Jupiter is going to bring that focus to that aspect of your life. And 9, that is your most natural, expansive house, where you want to travel big, go overseas, meet new cultures, see new ideas, get higher education, give you a vision. So you have a vision for all your grand ideas. So Jupiter will be the driving force to even expand your vision. So that's where the double expansion comes. First, you're already working with your vision. Vision means you have a goal on a grand scale, but Jupiter will be the one saying expand that. You can go even bigger than that. In the 10th house, that is the reputation, the public standing, the way how people see you, your public recognition. In a sense, Jupiter will bring that focus on expansion and growth of that reputation. So you'll be given opportunities to grow your reputation. The 11th house is about your groups, social network, the people with whom you hang out based on common interests, and that is where you're going to have a chance to expand your network, expand your group, expand those social networks. And the 12th house is your personal spiritual house, where you connect with spirit, you find healing. But also this is where we leave our legacy. We start thinking about leaving this world better than we found it. So a lot of times this is connected with our charitable work, or choosing to engage with particular charities. And so Jupiter there will set up the tone that we want to expand in that direction.